Hey what's guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. In this video, we'll be doing a 110 AI race around Zandvoort. Qualifying, we got pole position, and that was a pretty good advantage because grid position is really important on this track here. And we're just going to be seeing how fast the AI is. This is usually how I practice for my league races, and I will be making a video on techniques to practice in your league races and kind of just 5 tips and just more tutorial videos that I really want to make, but I have a few of the videos before I release that. And yeah, off the start already we do get a really good start and we're not really threatened from behind. This track is a very tight track. Tire wear isn't too bad around here. It's one of my favorite tracks on the calendar. I absolutely love this track. And yeah, if you haven't watched my last couple of league races, as we can see, Verstappen is super close. He almost tries to go for the move, but as I was saying, if you have not seen my latest league races, the performances I've been getting have not been kind of what I've been getting in the past. They've been slacking a bit. I haven't had a point yet this season. The first race I came in 12th, then 15th, and then 15th again. So obviously the drivers are very good, but I just think I haven't been practicing to my potential as well. And Verstappen is super close here in this race as he's trying to make a move, but he just can't quite get the move done. But in my league races, I haven't been doing as well, and I believe that just comes down to practice. I realize I haven't been practicing as much as I could have been, and just trying to find good techniques and good ways to practice, and ways that work and ways that don't work really are crucial and important. So this week, I've been trying to practice just a little bit more, and yeah, I mean, every time I don't get a good result, don't really stress over it too much and just go back to the drawing board and see what I did wrong and try to improve it. So not worried about that too much because I know what my true pace is. I'm just trying to get as close as I can to that full unlock pace. It's kind of like having perks in a game. When you first start off the game, you don't have any perks, but the goal is to unlock all of the perks so your character, whatever, can be maxed out. That's pretty much where I am right now. I don't have all of those perks unlocked yet. So that's kind of a figure of speech of way of saying it. And we do have a safety car, and this means that we can go pit on the medium tires. So this will give us a really good opportunity to pit on the mediums and try to undercut. For some weird reason, the AI goes on the hard tires, especially versus the second place guy. I believe will go on the hard tires. So yeah, definitely at the end of the season, I'll be revealing all the setups for all the races that I've used, and they're pretty good setups actually. It's just, you know, lack of practice, lack of consistency in practice just won't make them good. But you know, we'll see what happens this weekend at Zandvoort. Please join me for that live stream. It's gonna be a pretty interesting race, and no rain races yet this season, so I have a really funny feeling that one of these coming up is going to be a rain race as we dive into the pits for the medium tires, and this should give us a really nice strategy for the race. So if you guys do enjoy videos like these, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. So yeah, for these tutorial videos, I'm probably going to do the ways I use to practice for my league race or something above those lines, and probably top 5 tips to get faster, because I know a lot of people are struggling to get faster as well as me. Nowhere near the potential I think I could, but coming out the pits here, we do have the medium tires on, and we're trying to catch up as quickly as we can so we can you know, get back to the back of the pack. And here we go, and we are green, and we are in 18th place, and we have the Williams trying to make a move down the inside, but we do cover that line very good, and coming out the corner we do eventually get that speed, because obviously we're a faster car, and I think the tires at this point in the race are just a little bit better than the softs. And going around the outside in the carousel, we try to make a move on the outside on Grosjean. We do make it stick. He is still there though. He is on the inside coming back at us, and he does make it through. So pretty nice move by him. And we have the Williams coming at us too. The AI uses a lot of overtake, which is pretty insane. Well, as using overtake, the AI also, some tracks it can be super quick, and some tracks, I think all tracks at 110 they're quick. It's just some tracks the player can use the track to its advantage more, like Zandvoort. But it seems like at Zandvoort I'm a lot quicker than the AI. Could be, I don't know, but Zandvoort's a really awesome track. I just like the flow of it. And yeah, the thing about Zandvoort is that you can't really touch those big sausage curbs, but you can go on the flat curbs. So for instance, this curb right here on the right, you don't want to touch that. That will really unsettle the car, but the curbs on the left you can kind of go on. So that's pretty interesting. And another thing you gotta watch out for this track, and overtaking is near impossible. It's, well, I don't want to say near impossible, but it's very difficult, especially during a race trim. when you're trying to stay. So overtaking is very hard unless, you know, tire advantage or whatever, but it's not impossible. I don't want to say impossible, because anything's possible when it comes to passing. You just have to find the right moments. And here we're pretty much just trying to push as hard as we can, waiting for Verstappen to pit, so then we can see if we can come out of the pits in front of him. So we're behind Giovinazzi right now, and we need to get past as soon as we can. So trying to take this inside curb here, using curb not on the left, almost going down the inside there, taking a really good line through here. And the line here is pretty difficult because you could stay tight like I did there, or you could swing out to the right and try to get a really late apex. So coming off the last corner here, we do use a bit of our ERS, rich fuel mode, and we do not have DRS yet. But going through, oh my lord, going through turn 1, we do make a move around the outside, which is very good. And going around the outside in turn 1 is actually pretty good, because the next few corners will lead to a left-hander, so you will have the inside line there. So it's another thing to think about when overtaking. We have Russell in front of us, and again, the medium tire is such a great option. So again, if you can qualify on that medium tire with a good enough lap time, then that will give you a good strategy, as you know, overtaking is super difficult. But yeah, going into this corner here, trying to get a late apex as much as we can, a bit of oversteer. The snapping of oversteer is pretty common around this track, and you can see we got on that curb on the left and it unsettled the car. Like I said before, it really can, you know, unsettle the car and reduce momentum. This corner here, pretty difficult. You really want to take that big curb there, avoid the left one as usual, but stay super close to it. You really want to stay tight around there and carry as much speed as you can. This corner, so common to miss that apex on the right just from carrying a bit too much speed. Sometimes when you're in situations like this, you gotta try not to brake as late, but just concentrate harder on hitting that braking point. As we go around the outside of George Russell here, braking at the 50, and we do get the move done. And now we're going to move on to Kvyat, or I think he's going to pit this lap, and this is where everyone's going to start to pit, and we'll see if we catch Verstappen coming out of the pits. Behind Kvyat here on the next lap, and we're going to do the same thing we did with Russell, except he decides to go into the pits, and this is when we pretty much pass everyone up into second place. And as you can see, Verstappen is just coming out of the pits there, and we do pass him. So pretty much we're in the lead of the race right now, and he's on the hard tires. Not sure why the AI does this, but he's on the hard tires, so obviously we're gonna have a bit more pace, and there's not that many laps left. So Gasly's in front of us at this point in the race, but he obviously has to pit. So again, the undercut is pretty powerful around this track. So I've skipped to the end of the race, lap 16, going into 17, because I try to keep these videos as short as I can. And yeah, pretty much nothing happened once we were able to undercut Verstappen. From this point on, he wasn't able to catch us, and we have the gap to 2.1. So is the AI quick around Zandvoort? They're pretty quick, but obviously I think if he had the medium tires, he would have been able to catch me, but apparently he pit for this hard, which is pretty strange. But so yeah, I'm able to beat AI around Zandvoort, and we'll see right now just how quick they are very quick. And I think it just comes down to that strategy call right there, but I am able to win this race, which is pretty good. And going through a couple of corners here, just keeping it as tight as we can. It's so difficult when you're doing a race and there's no one around you. You start to lose focus and concentration, but you always have to try to keep that focus and concentration, because you know, the moment you start to lose that is when you start to slow down your pace, and slowly but surely the guy behind will start to catch up, and by that point you lost all your momentum. So it's just important, even when you're in the lead of the race and things start to get a bit stale, just keep your concentration, keep doing what you're doing, and try to keep that lap time up, because you know, you don't want to lose that position because you started to lose focus and you started to think that you won the race. So that's something I'm trying to work on as well. Even if you're not in first, even if you're in the midfield, it's super important just to keep your pace up and to keep pushing, because anything can happen, and that'll, you know, eventually make you a better driver. So last lap here, basically deploying all of our ERS. This corner here is super tricky. You want to keep that super tight, avoid that curb on the left, using track on the right here and the left, not too far on the left. You don't need to use this curb on the right there, but you do want to get super close to it. And again, this line here that I'm talking about, many lines to go through here. So we keep a generally tight line and try to make the exit as smooth as we can, and DRS there. You know, this game is not exactly iRacing or a simulator, so you kind of have to drive it like a game, unfortunately, but F1 is kind of one of my favorite racing series, so that's why I do it. But again, you kind of have to drive it like a game, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. But we're still going to try to do our best when it comes to league racing. So here we go. DRS across the line. We do manage to win the Zandvoort race against 110 AI. So we have that league race this weekend. Pretty excited for that. Make sure to tune in on the channel. Join the Discord in the description if you have not yet. And yeah, hoping for a good race. Obviously, you don't have any points. I'm going to start putting the standings in the description as well. So in the live, you'll see the standings. And yeah, best result ever in my league is 3rd place at Monaco. I think Monaco, you know, I feel like I don't crash that much. So Monaco was really good for me. So yeah, but this year or this season, because there's 2 seasons in the game, I believe 12th for this season was my best. So first race is 12th, and then 15th and 15th. But this weekend at Zandvoort, we're gonna try our best to really improve that. And yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like down below. And hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.